And from Fox View Lanes in Waukesha, Wisconsin, this is the PBA Fox View Lanes Midwest Open. And good morning, everybody. Or actually, getting close to the afternoon, let's be honest. Those of you on the East Coast, thanks for joining us here from Fox View Lanes. A couple more minutes of practice relating a fresh application of the 44-foot Cameron Salvino pattern in play for the 8 remaining bowlers on the lanes. 3 games of additional qualifying happening now. And after those 3 games are complete, we are going to have our top 4 advancing the Stepladder. That Stepladder start time set for 1:30 p.m. this afternoon. So we appreciate everybody sharing on their social media that they can watch some of the best in the PBA, such as you see here with E.J. Tackett and Marshall Kent. We'll give you the full rundown of the field momentarily as these players finishing their 5 minutes of practice. Thanks, everyone, for coming back and joining us. We'll have the announcements coming shortly from Toby Contreras, the PBA Midwest Regional Manager. And we will have some fun competition. This is a research regional, I guess I've been calling it the last couple of weeks. As you can see with these pin setters, they're the QubicaAMF Edge string pin setters. So this is administered by all PBA rules and regulations. However, because of the test/research nature of this regional, there will be no official PBA regional title awarded. It does not count towards the players' regional player invitational points, but it does have a $5,000 payday on board and a great trophy. So announcements Toby Contreras and our first of 3 games of this round of 8 starting momentarily.
Ladies and gentlemen, these bowlers have advanced from the 48 that started the tournament, made it the cut, top 16 after the qualifying. Bowled 4 more games this morning. That 16 advancers was cut to these 8. They're going to have 3 more games to bowl, adding to their total, trying to make it to that top 4. That next cut, which will yield the Stepladder finalists. That will take place on lanes 7 and 8 a little bit later this afternoon. Bowlers, split that 8-9, and, you know, make your spares, please.
All right, here are your top 2 in the field. Currently, Marshall Kent, who's your qualifying leader. He's your leader after the advancers round this morning. Marshall Kent didn't finish strong, though. 179 his final game. Kent at plus 323. E.J. Tackett second. Big finish for Tackett, 266 at the front. 9 the final game on 1 and 2 before 4-9 thwarted perfection. Tackett at plus 278. Landon Jordan is third. We'll get over to Jordan in a moment. Great cover by Tackett. Landon Jordan third at plus 260. Josh Blanchard, who you see on lane 5 currently. Blanchard at plus 235. So Blanchard, if we would have cut right to the stepladder after the advances round this morning, he would have been in the opening match with Jordan, but 3 additional games necessary to determine that top 4 for the stepladder. And Blanchard gets away with one on the spare attempt. Let's get over to 11 and 12. Chad Moss, you see stepping into frame. Moss currently in 5th. Player who's won PBA Midwest Regional titles in his past. At plus 226, just 5 pins ahead of his lane mate, Kevin McCune. McCune made his way into the top 8 this morning on games of 244, 211, 205, and 238 to get to plus 221. 3 players from Wisconsin still in the field with Chad Moss, and then our 7th and 8th place players we'll introduce momentarily. And Moss with a great toss. Down to our final 2 players. Ryan Zagar currently in 7th place. Zagar, though, a little painful last game, 168 in game 4 of advancers round, dropped to plus 175. So 60 pins out of the number right now is Zagar. Zagar's lane mate, Brent Boho. Boho, some struggles the last game, but just snuck out Luke Switalski by 3 pins for the final advancing spot. Boho at plus 157. Let's get back to Tackett and Kent. You can watch any of your favorite players. We have all feeds available in the description of the video you're watching. Just hit the More button down in that gray box on YouTube, and you'll see the pair feeds open up for 3, 4, 5, 6, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Just right-click on one of those, bring up a new tab, keep us on here in the main feed, because we'll try to get you a special guest. Try to get Neil Stremmel back in here during the round of 8 at some point in time if you have questions about why they're having the research regional here with these string pin setters.
Oh my goodness. That'd be a good one to have on. Yeah.
EJ Tackett can't get the messenger to go.
Yeah. That's right. Where's Neil? Oh, okay. Tom's there, yeah.
Yeah, we'll give you score updates and such. So yeah, double tab us. A lot of people do that when they're watching us here on either the PBA YouTube or when we're streaming live regionals as part of 10 on the Deck Productions. This is a 10 on the Deck production this weekend, thanks to the PBA for allowing us access to their YouTube channel for streaming this research regional for everyone's viewing pleasure. If you have any questions about what's going on this weekend, leave them in the live chat. We'll try to answer them the best we can. And that way you can get some questions out there ahead of time. If you have any for PBA Director of Research, Equipment, and Rules, Neil Stremmel. Let's take a peek back in. We haven't seen Boho throw one yet. Zagar on the front 3. And Boho with the bucket. Over to Blanchard. The man that's currently on the number. And not a lot of pins to play with. Only a 9-pin advantage over Chad Moss. And Blanchard just gets them all to go. Speaking of Moss, stepping up, working on a spare. In the third, but a double to open the game. Mass will defer to Kent. Yeah, you're going to get a lot of one ball at a time right now with just 8 players in the field. Kent comes high. Some players with the PBA double jump rule, they'll count the open pairs as 7, 8, and 9 and 10 both not in play this round. Stepladder finals will be on 7 and 8. And we here at 10 of the Deck Productions are going to be glad to bring you some unique views of the pinfall on these Cubica Edge string pin setters. One thing to keep in mind, though, research regional, so I mean, player participation in discussion about what they're seeing. During their competition is encouraged and welcomed. So if these players see a strange hit that they think needs an extra look, well, that's one of the reasons why we're here at 10 of the Deck Productions, to provide video backup to the PBA for this research project. Yeah, as Landon Jordan finds trouble with the 210. See what we can do. And no love, no bounce. Over to Tackett. Almost a 4-9. Takes everything down. Tackett, our runner-up finisher last week at his home center of Easy Bowl in Bluffton, Indiana, as Kyle Troop took down the title. Boho tripping 4s. And Kent gets the 6 to slap the 10. Strong field, though, remaining in the round of 8. 4 players in our field with PBA Tour titles to their resumes. And Blanchard, oh man, for a guy that doesn't get a chance to bowl a lot anymore, especially in regional or tour competition, he has thrown it well all weekend long. Might not be at the high end of the Rev Raider ball speed scale. That's a little unusual there for Kent on the light hit. 4 kind of went late. Peeking on Jordan, trying to bounce back off that 210. And comes light, and wonder if we're seeing a bit of transition. Let's get down to Zagar looking for the front 6. Asks at the wheel, doesn't do it. And the bucket remains. Zagar currently 60 in back of Blanchard for that last advancing spot. Moss just 9 behind Blanchard. And half 10. 6 rattles. Gets nowhere near. That's one thing with this new QubicaAMF Edge string pin installation. These back ends are all brand new. Everything that's not lane surface from just in front of the head pin back, it's all new. New flat cutters, new sideboards. And how about that for Jordan? You saw that one on lane 5, tripping everything out on a slightly high hit. Tackett carries them all. Zagar looking to get back striking and does so. Back to Blanchard. And get a gobbler on the score sheet for Blanchard. Kent, since about game 4 of A Squad yesterday, has been the leader in this event. Actually, game 3, he had 298 in game 3 yesterday. Down on 15 and 16. Did a ball change on the 12th shot. Tried to gather some information. Came up a little bit light. He left a 2-8. And Blanchard trying to assure himself some stepladder competition. Moss just ran into trouble with a 4-9. As the man in 5th trying to move up into a stepladder spot. Oh, how about that? The spinner messenger doesn't take the 10 for Kent. McCune's going to defer to Boho. Boho is still looking for a possible 260. Boho just about 80 pins outside the top 4 at the moment, and he's looking to make a bunch of that up here in this opening game of the round of 8. Whoa. Forecast for lane 12, pain on 10 pins. EJ wasn't sure on that one. You saw him staring that one all the way down. Wonder if there may have been a concern about the half 10 if that ball didn't face up properly. And Zagar, 2-8. See what Landon Jordan here can do to try to punch out, get to 217. Just wiggles enough sticks around to take them all down in the foundation frame. Oh, how can it, there's nothing near that 9-pin. There's a little ghost wiggle there, no doubt. We haven't said that these string machines perfectly replicate free fall, but 99.995% of the time, it's pretty close. Blanchard can't get the 10 to go, half 10. You see that 6 in full lean in front of the 10. Tackett defers to Blanchard for the spare attempt. I want to thank our season-long sponsors while we have the chance. PBA LBC National Championships. Entries are open for the 2025 edition at Bolero Mount Prospect in the greater Chicagoland area if you bowled previous LBC National Championship events or if you're a current PBA LBC member. Otherwise, entries will open to the general bowling public on December 1st. Get all your tournament information at pba.com/LBC tournament. And H5G brands. See a lot of great looking H5G jerseys on players in this field. And you can get yourself your own H5G jersey. You get yourself some PBA merchandise. Pretty much anything on the H5G site. You get 35% off on most everything. Minor exceptions apply. With no code needed at checkout. Oof, those 9-pins are getting harsh right now. After we're done with this round, before the stepladder, go check out what's available to you at h5gbrands.com. Players are going to skip a pair of land on the second, so the players you see on 3 and 4 are going to go down to 11 and 12. Let's check in on the game Boho has going here, as Boho can still get 260 on the board and make that move. These players here on 13 and 14 will go down to 5 and 6. And the 6 leans and doesn't take the 10. Mas not going to make up any ground on the top 4 with this game. And Jordan looking to hang on, and that's not going to help Mares any. So player movement, and the second of this 3-game block for the round of 8 coming up next from Foxy Lanes in Waukesha, Wisconsin. I'm $2 Phil Brilo, taking you through till we crown our champion a little later this afternoon. And we are underway with game 2 of this 3-game round of 8 competition. Thanks, everybody, for joining us from Fox View Lanes in Waukesha, Wisconsin, and the PBA Fox View Lanes Midwest Open. And even though that hit may have been a little tough to call whether it was pin or string, USBC rules for certified string pin setters say that any pins that fall, regardless of how they fall, count. Give Blanchard the spare. We can Zapruder film it all we want after we're done with the round. But for now, it counts for Josh Blanchard. And that's one of the things that Josh will pass along to everyone involved in the event. See if Blanchard can take advantage of that 210 conversion. Yeah, taking it back, going back, looking at the replay on that 210 conversion by Blanchard. The pin does start the move right when the head pin is rotating behind it. So if this was a Major League Baseball replay, I would have to say you couldn't overturn the call. Not enough evidence to overturn. I'm sure a lot of you go back and look at it, and that is one of the things about this event. That's why they're here. If there's something happening where certain spare combinations are either left more or converted more on these particular pin setters, it's going to stand out like a red flag to Neil Stremmel and whoever Neil has assisting him with the research on this. So I honestly think for the one for Blanchard, I mean, we've seen 210s conversions before on free fall where a pin hits the sideboard, starts spinning around a little bit after the contact, and you watch a part of the head pin or two pin for a washout or a 210 combo hit the back of the 10 and drop it forward, and that's kind of like what it looked like on that replay. So I'm not taking any credit away from Blanchard. He got the pin where it needed to be. And not only that, He has the double following that conversion to help him try to stay in the top 4. Here you go after 13 total games, 12 earlier today in the first game of this round of 8. E.J. Tackett, your new leader at plus 346. Let's peek in on Tackett and Kent. Kent 205 opening game drops Kent the second at plus 328. There you see Marshall already in front of the ball return. They are bowling on the burn left over this morning from the 44-foot Carmen Salvino pattern. Here's the man in third currently, Josh Blanchard, moves up a spot. His 224 game has him at plus 259. Landon Jordan, lane mate of Blanchard. Jordan holds on to fourth even after a 183 start. Has Jordan at plus 243. Very close behind him, though. Chad Moss plus 229 in fifth. Kevin McCune at plus 228 in sixth. Ryan Zagar at plus 220 in seventh. And Brent Boho at plus 195. Boho only finds himself 48 pins out with 2 games to go. That can be made up with a couple of big strike strings. And Boho started off hot, 238. Had a chance to put 260 on the board his opening game. Blanchard looking for the Rob Stone pork product. Oink, oink, oink. There it is. Kent, slide it. Oh, almost. Let's check in on the man in fifth with Chad Moss. Open spare for the first 2 frames for the man from Brookfield, and he's looking at another open here. The man on the number, Jordan, double and clean through 4. A little too light. You should be happy that 10 disappeared. And your leader, 6 goes full slap on the 10. And 2 opens in 3 frames. Isn't going to help Moss's cause for making the Stepladder finals. Let's take a peek in on Ryan Zagar. Zagar currently in 7th. 245 to start, though. And he's going to need pretty much a ride off the sheet to match that number here in his second round of 8 game. Oh, boy, you see some just vicious stone 9s out here this weekend where there's just nothing near the 9 pin when the ball goes through the rack. Oh, just brutal for Landon Jordan. Absolutely brutal 7-10. Boho finds trouble. Kent coming in after an open frame. Blanchard 69 pins behind Kent in second place. And he's looking to make up a lot of them here in this game. And wow, does that look familiar, ladies and gentlemen? You could not mirror image back-to-back shots between 2 players on a pair like you could for these shots by Landon Jordan and Josh Blanchard. My goodness. Huh? Can't say the pins weren't off spot because they've been dead on. And Blanchard can't get the bounce. And it's a momentum killer for Blanchard. There you go, Marshall Kent. And now Blanchard finds more trouble. You just see the footwork there. It just wasn't of quality. And it's take the 2 and go here for Blanchard. Still gets a chance to put up 235 even with back-to-back opens. Make it 234 for the max. Attack it with the cover. Let's check in again on Moss and McCune. Both players working on doubles in the 4th and 5th. Moss though trying to overcome a couple of opens. That's the way to get the 9 out. You see all those players have seen that 9 pin this weekend. Checking on Zagar. Also working on a double. Late contact by the 5 on the 7. Oh, how about that for a spinning leading messenger? My goodness. That'll make some of your breakfast come back up. Goodness. I got a little nauseated myself seeing that happen. Here you go for Marshall Cat. You see Landon Jordan come in the picture. Let's get over to Ryan Zagar, though. Zagar, 245. His opening effort leaves him only 23 pins outside the number, and Zagar looking for a big comeback after a second frame open. Oh, we get a little pork product for Zagar. You could tell by that follow-through. That was a no-doubter for McCune, and Blanchard getting a little doubt creeping in now as that's another shot that's come in light. And once again, we're already into our 6th game on this 44-foot Salvino pattern. 4 games in our advances round this morning, and the 2nd game of this round of 8. So there's definitely been some oil maneuvered around. Temporary stop to the bleeding for Blanchard. Tackett can't get past a double all of a sudden. 268, the opening game of this round for EJ, and a little slowdown on the scoreboard now for the man from Bluffton. Oh, just harsh for Boho, and 48 out of the numbers Boho, and that number may increase this game, especially if he has another open frame on the board. And no break up at the split for Moss. We'll watch Kent here, and we'll take a peek in on The man on the number, Landon Jordan. And Kent gets them all to go from the foundation frame. Jordan's get to 225. And the week 10, knocked 21 off of that. Down to McCune. McCune just 15 behind Landon Jordan coming into this game, and McCune, if he gets a 249, might make his way into that top 4 for the moment. Kent with a quality toss. Jordan with a quality spare. And a painful 210 leave for McCune in the foundation frame. Marshall needed a little more loft on that one. Ball still roll up a bit early, and 4-9. Taking care of business is Landon Jordan. He's been in these tight situations in a PBA regional event before, a couple of years back at the PBA RPI qualifier. He wasn't eligible to make his way to Las Vegas for the RPI as just being a PBA junior member, but he almost took down that championship in Clinton, Iowa. Kevin McCune actually took that down for his first PBA regional title. I don't want to say Moss needs them all right now, but you can't give Landon Jordan any more room away. And how about that? Jordan punches the second one in the 10th, so with good count, he'll be in the 2-0s. He'll keep Moss behind him, but can he keep McCune behind him? One thing we do know, E.J. Tackett is still going to be your leader. And bingo, bango, and bongo for Jordan. In the 10th, they get to 205. Tackett did get his punch out in the 10th, so he'll still be your leader. Oh, how about that? The old pocket 4-5. Well, they say breaks even out. You saw the 210 earlier. And the conversion for Blanchard, now the bad break. And the 5-7. Wonder when the last time Josh has shot one of these in PBA competition. And no love on the spare. So we'll get scores tabulated. Let's take another look at that shot by Josh Blanchard. This is a replay, and you got to get that ball to work all the way through. And watch that head pin just kind of fight off the 4 and the 2, and it stands the 5 right back up. So there you get the paralyzed 5 with the 7 pin, because the head pin and the 2 pin didn't get back to it. And a bad break in an open frame. We'll have to see if that drops Blanchard down. We'll have your score update after 14 games. I'll take the messenger off the milk carton and give it to Kevin McCune. Once again, ecstatic over a break he gets on the lanes. Our final game of round 8 competition coming up next. Players are just simply moving one pair next door, so the players you see here on 3 and 4 will go to 5 and 6. 13 and 14 comes down to this pair, 3 and 4. So we're going to get into Game 3 coverage right away with Boho kind of falling off pace. Get what our leaders, Tackett and Kent. We'll have your 14-game scoring update as soon as the final scores are recorded for Zagar and Boho. Let's drop the live scoring link into your comments. So if you want to check out the scores yourself, you can be able to do so. Someone's got to change their YouTube handle. Hi, Natalie. Hope you're having a good time watching your husband bowl. How about that? Scramble enough stuff around, that messenger will get over. Take down the 10. Let's go over and take a peek as Blanchard and Jordan just underway. Blanchard coming off a rough finish. That pocket 5-7. A little odd pinfall. As everything was fighting to get towards the 7, and then something stood the 5 back up as it was moving. Now, that's one thing that's interesting, too, as you watch these QubicaAMF string pin setters in action. You saw that 5-pin move for Blanchard, but when the pin was reset, obviously gravity is going to take things straight down unless other forces are placed upon an object. The 5-pin was respotted in its original spot. So sometimes with free fall pin setters, if the scissors in the pin deck can pick up a pin in range and then put it down in the same spot, it will stay there, but that is not the case for pins that are moved on the pin deck on these QubicaAMF Edge strings. They go back in the original spot. Kent gets the cover, tack at front 4. Take a peek in on Landon Jordan. Jordan been around the top 4 or 5 of the leaderboard all weekend long for the young player from Sycamore, Illinois. Great part of the PBA Junior Ambassador program as well. But then that shot comes up high. Oh, 6 leans on the 10 before the head pin can even try to do damage. McCune's going to need a bunch this game if he wants to see stepladder action. Oh, and the wrap 10. Let's take a look at Chad Moss. Moss is going to need a bunch of this game to see further action. Yeah. You just see the full ripping of heart out of the chest for Moss on that 10-pin. Well, blower 5. And the 7 says, nope. Sorry, Josh. You at least got me out this time. But you didn't get the 5 to do its job properly. Tackett, front 5. Tackett closed out his round earlier today for advancers with the front 9. Will we see another big score here to lock up that number 1 spot into the stepladder and have Tackett on top for back-to-back weeks? Your top 2 pretty much assured to be in. E.J. Tackett, Marshall Kent at plus 360 and plus 346 respectively. Tough to lose 100 pins in a game. Josh Blanchard, here you see Blanchard still 3rd, even with a 190 game at plus 249. Landon Jordan, the man on the number now, as Jordan's just 1 pin behind Blanchard at plus 248. It's got to go. You see it. If it started to tilt and it makes full contact with the pin deck, it's an X on the board. Oh. That 4-9 was just vicious. Back-to-back. Tough breaks for Moss. Blanchard can't get the half 10 to go. So Landon Jordan's your number plus 248. Just 3 pins behind is McCune. Or pardon me, 5 pins behind plus 243 for McCune. Moss, who you see here, is just 10 behind Jordan. And that open frame is just heartbreak. Good cover by Blanchard. Over to McCune. can opener. And Jordan with the lean over to Kent. Kent's pretty much resigned, knowing he's going to finish this round in second place overall. So he'll have an extra match to win. Try to take down the title in the stepladder. Once again, top 4 advance after this game. And how about that scramble for McCune? McCune knows job at hand is getting the stepladder. EJ caves in the 4. Good cover by Jordan. Checking on Boho. Boho just finishing up the round, as he has no chance of getting to the stepladder by just throwing spares. Over to Maas. That time he takes care of the 10. Jordan, 4 goes, 9 doesn't. Attacking for the excellent 8th in a row. Nope. Almost left 8 on the deck. That ball just slicing right through. I mean, it's a great start to try to lock up the number 1 spot. It's not locked up yet. Kent can get to 248. Attack, if we were to go open, it would only be in the 2 teens to 220s. Maas taking a KitchenAid appliance to the rack. Take your choice, can opener, blender, immersion blender. Over to McCune. Looking for the Rob Stone pork product. Not happening. Blanchard keeping the score sheet clean, but yet to strike here in this final round of 8 game. And comes up late again. At least this time, the hits are 9s for Blanchard. We saw some hits last game. There were 8s and 7s. 9s are a lot easier. Keep clean on the scoreboard with. We'll peek in on Marshall Kent after that conversion by Blanchard. As we mentioned, EJ does not have the 1 seed locked up yet. Kent, foundation frame to still keep 248 alive. Does so. 7 gave a little tease. McCune, look at that. Hop, skip, and a jump back towards the 10. We're going to go to Tackett on this one. We'll give you the radio call on Blanchard because this is for the 1 seed. EJ trying to make sure he locks it up before Marshall. Kent has a chance to try to get that 1 seed locked. It's the pace right now. It's mandatory strike mode for Maas. They try to get in the stepladder. Everything goes down. Over to Tackett. All EJ needs is a mark. He's up by 14 over Kent coming into this game. And a mark locks up the stepladder. Best mark of all. So there is your number 1 seed. E.J. Tackett, your number 2 seed, will beat Marshall Kent, and everybody else fighting it out for the 3rd and 4th spots. 4 players, Josh Blanchard, Landon Jordan, Kevin McCune, Chad Maas, all in that battle to make the stepladder. Josh Blanchard coming in this game plus 249, Landon Jordan plus 248, McCune plus 243, Maas plus 238. Just 11 pins separating 4 players and 2 stepladder spots, and another quality toss. We'll make it official for Tackett. Stay behind the foul line. Well behind the foul line. Hit some pins. There you go. Jordan looking for his 2nd double of the game. I don't know if he got that one a little slow. And McCune gets a 6 to slap the 10. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have some fireworks these last 4 frames to see who takes our number 3 and number 4 spots in the stepladder finals. That stepladder is scheduled to start and will start at 1:30 p.m. Central Time. We'll go live 5 minutes beforehand and catch the last few minutes of practice, so make sure your notifications are on for the PBA Bowling YouTube channel. If you don't have them on yet, make sure you get them on. Give yourself that nice reminder as McCune vaporizes the 10. Josh not happy. That's one thing with these edge string pin setters. It is so much quieter during competition in here because there's not the constant motors running and pins falling and everything in the back. All it takes is somebody kicking a bowling bag or coughing a little bit too loud. The constant noise in the center. Yeah, Zagar and Boho, their days are going to end here. Maas looking for 5 in a row. Is he going to get it? Yes, he does. Back to Blanchard. And Blanchard just losing a look, and it's going to cost him a look at a stepladder spot. So Maas can get to 256 and assure himself to be in the stepladder if he can strike out in the 9th and 10th. Blanchard can't get there. And Landon Jordan can't get to that number either. Shot of the weekend here for the man from Brookfield, Wisconsin. Oh, well done. Chad Maas. I said Chad took down some PBA Midwest region titles earlier in his career. Has a couple of USBC Open Tournament titles as well, and that's going to be huge for McCune. As that may give a little glimmer of hope to the 2 gentlemen just to his left with Blanchard. You can still get to 226. And Landon Jordan, you can still get to 235. McCune covers them both. McCune 5 behind Jordan, 6 behind Blanchard. So if McCune can get to 235, it's going to force Jordan to get all the way through the first 2 in the 10th, and that just opened the door for McCune. McCune can end this now and make the Stepladder finals. With the first 2 in the 10th and good count. Stepping it out. Oh, Messenger behind the 10. He's got to come back and cover it. You got to keep the composure. You never know what your opponents might do. So 224 now, the max for Jordan. McCune shoots that same number. With a spare here. And a strike on the fill ball, so McCune puts up the number. That's what Blanchard and Jordan, they know what they're going to have to shoot stepping up. McCune was 5 behind Landon Jordan, 6 behind Josh Blanchard. And that's going to end the day for Landon Jordan. And now Josh Blanchard's going to have to step up and punch in the 9th and the first 2 in the 10th to stay ahead. How about that for the Messengers are dead? Far from. That's proof perfect right there. I know we're counting Moss in already. He's working on a 6-bagger coming in. Moss is in the 220s, even with an open. Any mark here. And Moss will get past McCune and lock up a spot in the stepladder. If he strikes here, I think you're going to hear it. Oh, and he comes up light. Mandatory strike mode for Blanchard. .226 the max score. Does he make the adjustment and not come light? Oh, how about that? How about that? Spins around and takes the 10 down, and Hope is still alive for the man from Mesa, Arizona. Uh-oh. That puts Moss at plus 260. It's still behind McCune. McCune's at plus 267. So McCune is in. Jordan can't get there. Blanchard needs a strike. Scrambles it. Blanchard needs to get to 212 to lock things up. Count here on this shot is huge. So we already know EJ first. Marshall second. Is it going to hold? He's got enough. With that 215 finish, puts Blanchard at 264 to the positive and keeps Moss on the outside looking in. What a great weekend nonetheless for Chad Moss. But your top 4 unofficially: EJ Tackett, your 1 seed; Marshall Kent, your 2 seed; Kevin McCune, your 3 seed; and Josh Blanchard, your 4 seed. It's like a PBA Tour reunion this weekend here at Foxx U Lanes. Top 4 all players with PBA Tour titles. We're going to have a short break. We're going to end all streams, and we'll be back at 1:25 live on YouTube. The Stepladder is scheduled to start at 1:30 p.m. Central Time. Thanks, everyone, for joining us on PBA YouTube. This is a 10 on the Deck production. I'm $2 Phil Bryla. We'll see you back here shortly for the Stepladder.